Racism in the truck industry. How do you deal with it? Well, that's a very hard question to answer, because in these days and times, this is 2018. Slavery was abolished years ago. We went through Jim Crow laws, you know what I'm saying? We went through the Revolutionary War. We went through Civil War. We under Abraham Lincoln, the first president, Republican president at that, freed the American slaves here in America. It was the North versus the South. But now you find a lot of that racism is right up here in the North. When it's supposed to have been abolished and everything. Slavery was abolished. I listened to Kanye. Say he made that little statement or whatever. He made a mistake in his tweet. Big deal. His whole thing is basically getting slavery in all its forms abolished. And see, under the 13th Amendment, which everybody went crazy over, him getting abolished, really he was just talking about the part in the 13th Amendment where it says that you can still put somebody into slavery as a punishment for a crime. When really, if you're going to abolish slavery in all its forms, not even for a punishment for a crime, should you be using slavery. Now, inside of the penitentiaries, they get paid pennies. You know what I'm saying? To do a job, you might work as a porter and make $15 a month. You working as a technician or out on a yard crew or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You may bring in $35 to $40 a month. You doing all that hard labor and everything. And then it's like, to work in the kitchen, you make anywhere from like $75 to $100 per month, depending on what joint you locked up in, And at that time, you get to file taxes and everything else just by working in the kitchen. Woo-hoo. But still, the jobs that they have you doing, you getting paid pennies per day, literally. But I'm not here to talk about the penitentiary. I'm talking about the trucking industry. Now, I've dealt with racism in this industry on several levels, And yesterday I went through a situation when I was picking up at Post. Rookies, if you're watching this, this is what you're going to have to end up dealing with when you come into this industry if you're a minority. But also, I wanted to let you know, because originally I was supposed to be making a video about tandems and whatever, but this issue came up. And so I said, I'm going to go ahead and tackle this real quick. Instead of going into the tandem issue, I'll probably do that in another video later or somewhere down the line in the future. And plus, I want to remake the video that I made about the things that you need to bring. I can tell you that real easy, Bring money when you sign up for the trucking school. Bring money, bring clothes. Don't bring a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But bring money and bring clothes and bring deodorant. Nobody likes a funky person, right? Let's get that out the way. But for right now, and don't nobody, you know what I'm saying? You want to be able to feed yourself or whatever and buy the stuff that you need while you're there at the school, because you're not going to earn nothing for the first 3 to 4 weeks. So do your thing. But yesterday You know, oh, and this is another thing to rookies. You know, I'm a rookie myself. You know, I've only been in this industry a little under 2 years. You know, so it's like when you're going out on these loads, I see a lot of people make these videos and they make mistakes. And the mistake that they make is that when you sign on board to work for a company, they tell you in their orientation or whatever, or it's in the orientation notes, you're not really supposed to give out the locations or the names of the companies in which you are dealing with. Like if you work for a company, let's say, I'm not even gonna mention that. I name Post, you know what I'm saying, and that's where I was picking up at. But I didn't give out no locations or whatever, anything else. That's not something that you was supposed to do. Because when I was working with CR England, I had a partner that he was used to get on the phone and tell people where we're going, what state, what city, you know what I'm saying, the addresses and all. I'm like, man, you're not even supposed to be talking about that type of stuff. They tell you that when you come through orientation. You're not supposed to talk about that. You sign paperwork that tells you that. Quit telling people where we go. Plus, I don't know you. I don't know what you planning on doing. You talking to people about meeting up and all the other type of stuff too, man. Cut it out. You're not supposed to be doing that. You know, and that was a couple of the issues that I had with that one partner, you know, and we ended up getting separated. It got a little bit more serious than that, but you know, but that was just one of the reasons why I ended up getting separated, because I don't know who he meeting up with or what he got planned in his mind. But my thing I want to talk about is racism. Is yesterday I pulled up to the company. I parked behind another J&R Schugel truck. As soon as I parked, you know, they pulled on off, because I noticed a lot of trucks, and when they get in there, it tells you a big old sign that tells you sweep out the trailer. Okay, I ain't got no problem with that. So as soon as he or she or whoever it was in that J&R Schugel, they moved forward to drop their trailer and went and picked their trailer up. And you know, this is the second time I've been to that company, and the first time I didn't get no type of issues out of this company, you know. But it's like the second time, it just happened. And J&R Schugel, he pulled off. I pulled up into their spot. I got out of my truck. It was another truck parked right next to me, but it was up a little bit further. And so I went into the back. I opened up my trailer doors. I went and grabbed my broom. I brought it back to the back. Threw it in the back of the trailer. I climbed in there. I got to sweeping. I swept out. I got to sweeping out my trailer. And the lady, I seen her when she bagged up. You know, I seen her when she bagged up her truck all the way back around and then came around on the other side of me and went to her dock. But I guess where I was parked at, it was blocking her from getting into her dock. Do you know this lady had the audacity to come to me and ask me to get out of my trailer and move my truck so she can park? I'm like, are you serious? Come on, man. What trucker do you know in their right mind would get out of their trailer, would climb out of their trailer, and then walk around and move their truck so another trucker can park? You know what I'm saying? You took the time out to sweep your truck out, and you know what I'm saying, didn't care for nobody else, and then wanted to sit there and argue with me about it. I looked at this woman, I said, ma'am, could you please move to the side so I can finish sweeping out my trailer? I don't want to sweep this dust and stuff in your face. She stayed put right there, so I kept on sweeping out my trailer. You know, I asked you to move. You didn't move, that's on you. So I finished, and then she said to my, Oh, so you just gonna sit there and take your slow time sweeping out your trailer and everything while my clock is running and I gotta get parked so I can drop this. That's not my problem. My problem, my responsibility is to this truck in which I am taking care of. This is my personal property. I see if I seen you bagged in and I just pulled up and then it just sat there. But no, you want to tell me to get out of my trailer and move my truck and then want to argue with me about that. That's not happening. I don't care who he is. And then the one of the people that works in the office, he was walking across the parking lot listening to everything that we were saying. And so I went on ahead and I asked, when I finished sweeping out my truck, and she started honking her horn. I'm like, wait. And then so I got out as soon as I got out my truck. And then I picked up my broom to take it back to the inside. And then another guy came from the office came out and said, "Excuse me, sir, do you mind picking up your stuff?" I said I was going to do that. There's shovels on the other side and it's garbage. I know that. I was going to go get the shovel and I can sweep this stuff up. Don't you see me I just picked my broom up. I'm about to sweep the stuff into a pile. But here's my thing. I'm like, you didn't say nothing to that white woman that was over here arguing with me about moving my truck. And then on top of that, all her stuff is still sitting on the side of my truck. And so I swept my stuff up, and I told him I swept my stuff up. I'm picking this up. But guess what? Don't expect me to pick somebody else's mess up. Because that's not happening. Period. It may seem mean or whatever, but I'm not here to sweep up everybody else's mess. I'm here to take care of what I'm supposed to take care of. And that's the load that I'm carrying and the trailer that I got and the truck that I got. You know, that's my responsibility, not somebody else's trash. If I sweep trash off my truck, of course, I got to pick it up because that's what I put down there. That's what I'm responsible for. So I went and got that shovel. I swept it into a pile, swept it up on that shovel. Then I said, stop. I put my broom down, I walked up to the front, got my phone. I took pictures of it in case somebody else had something to say. Because that guy made sure he walked across that parking lot and came to me again and asked me to sweep my mess up. And that's when I cut into it. I say, you see that stuff right there? Don't expect for me to sweep up somebody else's stuff because you didn't say nothing to that woman over there. And you see her simply yelling at me. And then he walked back across that parking lot. And then she had the nerve. It's in one of the pictures that I took, you know what I'm saying? Because I snapped a picture of where my truck was at and showed it where her truck was at, where she was trying to bag into. And then I went back there, I took a picture where my trash was swept up and onto but it also caught the trash along the other side of my trailer where she swept her shit out of. Excuse my language. And it also got her in that picture coming back there to so-called check me again about not moving my truck. I told her, man, why don't you sweep up the old mess while you at back here? You know, and so she didn't say nothing. So I just went on, got my stuff, I went and sat down, and then I I put my broom back in my truck, and got in my truck after I finished snapping my pictures and everything, and then I moved my truck and let her park. And so she had the nerve to tell me, don't have a nice day. What you mean don't have a nice day? Her whole thing was trying to take me out of the mind frame and get me to an argument. And possibly even because she even get me fired because she feels that she don't even know me. So the only thing she know is a black man. Is it just because I'm a man? She got her hair cut short. I don't know what she is, you know? But just have a woman can have her hair cut short, whatever, dress manly, whatever. But I'm just saying. Why is you cutting into me over some nonsense? Wait your turn. Just like I did. you know. And so my clock is ticking too. I was short on time, you know. So it is what it is. I went on there and dropped my trailer and everything, you know what I'm saying? It was the parking lot had all the trailers, the drop trailers condensed into one little area, and it's very condensed, and it's if to get in there with even amount of space on both sides of the trailer, I'm a big man. I can't fit back there between them trailers like that. So I asked the yard jockey, "Hey man, can I drop this trailer right here? And you can just push it back in there, you know what I'm saying? Push it back in there, because that's what the yard jockey, you can fit into them little small spaces where I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can drop the legs right here, but all you gotta do is hook up and push it back in there. You the one set all this stuff up like this tight like this in the first place." He told me, "Well, why don't you just let the legs down right here to where it's just a quarter of an inch off the ground and then bag it in and then drop the trailer?" There's a lot of people that do. I'm like, damn, is it that serious? I said, you know what? I walked off. I let him continue talking to himself. At that point, my understanding was zero. I walked and got him. Did you hear what I said? Yeah, I heard. I heard everything you said. I closed my door, rolled my window up. And I didn't pay him no attention, because you know what I did? I created space. It was enough space on the other side of the trailer for it not to scrape up against anything. But I made sure I had enough room to walk back on the other side trailer where I had to pull the handle out and let down them legs. Now, what happened to that trailer after that, when that yard jockey got a hold of it, that's completely on them. That's not my problem anymore. You know, you want to be smart ass with me, excuse my language, but if you want to be smart ass with me, I can be smart ass too. And then when I pulled out of there, you know what I'm saying, the same people, they sitting out there just laughing, and so I cut him to me. I said, "I sure hope you tell that woman to sweep up her mess, just like you came out there and told me." But I had to, you know what I'm saying, I got down there, I hooked up to my trailer, I said, you know what, I'm going to go in here and go inside and apologize to these people. A lot of people would not have apologized because they wasn't the cause of the situation in the first place. All they did was just show up to drop the trailer, pick up the trailer, get the paperwork, and go. Sweep out the trailer too, pick up their mess. Do all of their trucker duties that they know they're supposed to do. That's all you did was just show up. And you got all of this nonsense. And you didn't even start it. All you did was show up. And all of these people was white. You know? So how do you deal with that racism type deal? You know? It's like, you know what I'm saying? They did everything short of just flat out call me a nigger. It is one of those, you don't argue with this good, wholesome white woman type deal, you know? And I'm like, she showed this look, then act wholesome to me the way she cut into me. She didn't say, "Excuse me, sir, please, can you move?" It's like, will you move your truck? You just gonna sit here? I'm like, wait a minute, wait. You coming at me all raw. I see if she asked me nicely, I might have thought about doing it. Thought about it. Gave it a moment's thought. But no. I'm almost finished sweeping this trailer out. Please move to the side. But it's just the fact that the way everybody wasn't just one person that came to cut into me. It was like she was the start of everything. And then the ball kept rolling downhill and getting faster and faster when they came over to cross that parking lot and cut into me about picking my stuff up, which I was going to do anyway. It's like they didn't say nothing to her. I was the problem. And so I sat there, connected to my new trailer, put in all my paperwork and everything, but I sent a message to my company. I let them know exactly what happened. You know, because if the company don't know, then how can they know exactly what's going on? At least they got my point of view of what happened. You know, and they can't just call them up and tell them any old thing. I said I'm just covering my. That's the only thing I can do is cover my end of this whole situation. In case they want to call you and tell you something else. But I went in there and I apologized to them people. Why? I didn't owe them an apology. I was owed an apology. But I went in and apologized to them because initially it was her attitude that caused me to get an attitude and cut into them the way when they asked me. But it just added to it when they came across that parking lot and cut them to me about doing something I was going to do in the first place. And then they overlooked all the other stuff that other drivers swept out into their parking lot. They didn't say nothing. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is. So I went and apologized to them. They said it's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? And let it go. See, the reason why I apologize is because, one, the whole entire incident could have caused a problem between Post and J&R Schugel. And Post could have easily pulled their contract with J&R Schugel, which ultimately they wouldn't have pulled them cameras and showed how she came over there and cut into me in the first place. They would have just said, you caused us to lose a major contract with a major corporation. Pack your shit and get off our truck. So I had to make sure that the relationship between J&R Schugel and Post stayed solid. Or at least on solid ground. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't be no problem between them. But I also, like I said, I had to cover my own tracks. You know what I'm saying? So I let my J&R Schugel know exactly what happened. Because ultimately, when it comes down to it, J&R Schugel and is going to put everything back on me because I'm now an independent contractor. So therefore, I'm the one that's going to get sued. And with me, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've dealt with a lot of different issues over these years, and I haven't had a good track record when it came to attorneys. I literally posted, so I deleted them, but I posted the actual letters sent to me from attorneys telling me that I got a case, but it's just not big enough for them. And I'm like, okay. There was one incident where I was going through a little problem at you know what I'm saying, going at a place, and I went and talked to this attorney, and he sent me one of them letters, told me that it wasn't big enough for that case, but I'm looking at how exactly what happened to somebody else, and they sued Marvin Gardens and Isaiah Thomas. I was going through something like that. She got awarded $10 million, and you telling me that it's not big enough for you? But you making commercials where you talking about you winning $100,000 lawsuits? She won $10 million. And this is a very reputable law firm in which I contacted. So, and I've dealt with multiple smaller law firms on top of that. It got to the point where I was going through the whole list that the state bar kept sending me to, and was getting turned away. You know what I'm saying? That was just one issue, but I went through multiple issues. And each and every time, it always happened the same way. So I stopped depending on attorneys, but then I sit there and listen to people, well, why don't you sue? You know, it is what it is. So how you handle those situations? This video is going on a little longer than I intended to, you know. Probably because of what happened what I talked about in the beginning. That took up about 5 to 7 minutes. You know, this could be 7 minutes shorter. But I'm gonna go ahead and just say how you handle it. I listened to former WWE champion John Cena, where he talks about rising above the hate. Now, trust me, I went into the Rock mind frame, and I know that wouldn't have did nothing but cause major problems, because you know how The Rock is very smart mouth. You know, it doesn't matter what you think. Know your role and shut your mouth. And so, at the same time, I did also, instead of saying those words, I listened to those words. And sometimes, you know, you just gotta humble yourself and take it with a grain of salt. Because this is a very lucrative job. You're not really wanted as a minority in this industry anyway. And you let certain hate groups tell it, you're not even wanted in this country. You know? So, by any ways they can get you out of it, they'll do it to get you out of it. Because this industry, any lucrative industry, really belongs to and you know, they went through that in Hollywood as well, you know? They really let the minorities know their role and told them to shut their mouth. So how do you handle it? You know, just take it with a grain of salt. My food is here. I'll get ready. I gotta go. Talk to you later. You know, before I go, I'm gonna add this to this video. You know, because the exact same company that I just ordered, I'm not gonna say who it is, but you know, I ordered the food, gave my credit card information, you charged me and everything, but as soon as you got the money off my card to pay for the food, I bet you homeless and all this other stuff. I know the area that I'm in. Predominantly white, with a few Mexicans. I know this area, you know. And when you got predominantly that type of mix, you know, you get frowned upon. Especially me, you know what I'm saying, a descendant of a former slave, in which they used to whip and all the other good stuff. You know, so you just have to deal with that type of stuff. When I listened to that, I thought about what? Wait a minute. First of all, I don't know if these trucking companies will hire you if you didn't have a home address. I'm ordering to ask you to deliver it to my truck. This is my truck, which I'm paying for. I'm not in a company truck. Third of all, you delivering to me on my job. To the people. I'm on the property of the people that hire me. Fourth of all, your job is to take the order, fix my damn food, and deliver it. All them snide little comments and all the other stuff is really redundant. And let me tell you something. You see this thing right here? When I bought it, this thing was every bit of $200 by itself. Do you see these glasses? These are Coach sunglasses. Worth $200. This is $400 just in 2 items. So what, I'm wearing Walmart clothes. I like good stuff, yes. Every blue moon I might splurge. But at the same time, don't talk about me like that. Because these 2 items right here alone is probably your paycheck for the week. So I try not to argue, because people look at truckers in general, regardless of what race you are, like we just no good, like we not doing it like we say we are. I seen this white guy a long time ago. I see him every now and again, I don't tell him, I don't remind him of that day. But this is when I was really just starting out in this industry. And it really showed me exactly the potential for this job as a trucker. A lot of people talk about us. They build ditches and all this stuff to try to keep us, and don't put rest areas for us to stay in, or truck stops or whatever, and put all these no truck signs up. But they want us to deliver their wares. Now, this one white guy, I still see him periodically to this day. And he is one of the main reasons that let me know that there's money in this industry. And I'm not just talking about small money. Because that son of a gun, we was at a port of entry in Utah. I was just starting out. Fresh. I ran and took my books in and everything. This one trucker said, man, I need change. I got to pay this bill.